Am I the a-hole for confronting my stepmom after she secretly tried to adopt my daughter without my consent? My name is Jordan, I'm 36, and I live in Dallas, Texas. I'm a single dad to my daughter, Mia, who's 8 years old and my absolute world. Her mom, Olivia, passed away in a car accident 4 years ago, and since then, it's been just the two of us navigating life together. It hasn't been easy, but we've found our rhythm. That is, until my stepmom, Kathy, decided to throw a wrench into everything. Kathy married my dad, Robert, about 10 years ago, and while she's always been a little overbearing, I never thought she'd cross the line like this. Kathy has always had strong opinions about how I should live my life. She's one of those people who think they know what's best for everyone else, and she doesn't shy away from making her thoughts known. When Olivia passed, Kathy was quick to swoop in with unsolicited advice about how to raise Mia. You need to find her a mother figure, she'd say. Kids need a woman in their life. At first, I appreciated her concern, but over time, it became clear that Kathy wasn't offering support, she was trying to take over. She'd buy Mia clothes without asking, rearrange her room when she came to visit, and even make comments about how I should step back and let her handle the parenting. I brushed it off because, well, she's my dad's wife, and I didn't want to cause drama. But things took a turn recently that I can't ignore. Last month, I got a call from my lawyer. I assumed it was about some paperwork for my will. I'd been updating it to ensure Mia would be taken care of if anything ever happened to me. But what he told me left me speechless. Jordan, he said, I got a notification that a petition has been filed regarding Mia's custody. What? I asked, completely confused. What kind of petition? It's an adoption petition, he said. Filed by Kathy. I felt like the air had been asked out of the room. Adoption? That's impossible. I never agreed to that. She filed it without your consent, he said. We need to respond immediately. I was shaking as I hung up the phone. Kathy was trying to adopt my daughter, without telling me, without asking me, without anything. It felt like a punch to the gut. I called my dad immediately. Dad, what the HLL is Kathy doing? I demanded. What are you talking about? He asked, clearly caught off guard. She filed a petition to adopt Mia, I yelled. Without my consent. Did you know about this?
There was a long pause before he finally said, Jordan, I think she mentioned something about it, but I didn't think she was serious.
You didn't think she was serious? I repeated, incredulous. Dad, this is insane. I didn't wait. I drove to their house that night, fuming. When I walked in, Kathy was sitting in the living room with a smug smile, like she'd done nothing wrong. Kathy, I said, trying to keep my voice steady, we need to talk. Right now. She looked up, feigning surprise. What's this about, Jordan? You know exactly what it's about, I said. Why did you file to adopt Mia? She crossed her arms and leaned back. Because it's what's best for her. What's best for her? I repeated, my voice rising. You didn't even talk to me about it. I'm her father. You don't get to decide what's best for her. She needs stability, Kathy said, her tone patronizing. You're doing your best, but you're a single father. It's not enough. Not enough? I snapped. Who the HLL do you think you are to decide that? Mia is happy, healthy, and thriving. She doesn't need you to swoop in and play mom. She needs a mother figure, Kathy insisted. And let's be honest, Jordan, you're barely keeping it together. I was livid. You have no right to make that judgment. Mia doesn't need you, Kathy. She needs me, and you've crossed a line you can't come back from. My dad tried to mediate, but his weak excuses only made me angrier. Kathy's heart was in the right place, he said. She just wants to help. Help? I said, turning to him. This isn't helping, Dad. This is an overreach of epic proportions. You should have stopped her. I didn't know it had gone this far, he mumbled, looking down at his hands. You should have known, I said. You're her husband. You let her do this. My lawyer filed a response to the petition immediately, and the judge dismissed it without hesitation. Kathy had no grounds to adopt Mia, and the court made it clear that her actions were inappropriate. But the damage was done. My trust in Kathy, and in my dad, was shattered. Kathy tried to act like the victim afterward. I was only trying to do what's best for Mia, she told me over the phone. You're blowing this out of proportion. No, Kathy, I said. You tried to steal my child. Don't contact me again. My relationship with my dad is in shambles. He keeps calling, asking me to forgive Kathy and move on. She meant well, he keeps saying. But how can I forgive someone who tried to take my daughter from me? Mia doesn't know the full story, and I don't plan to tell her. All she knows is that we won't be visiting Grandpa and Kathy anymore. She's asked a few questions, but I've kept my answers vague. We just need some space right now, I tell her. As for Kathy, she's doubled down. She's been badmouthing me to other family members, saying I'm ungrateful and overreacting. Some of them have even taken her side, saying she was only trying to help and that I should let it go for the sake of family harmony. I've cut off all contact with Kathy and put strict boundaries in place with my dad. I've also updated my will to ensure there's no chance Kathy could ever try something like this again. But the whole situation has left me feeling angry, betrayed, and unsure of what to do next. Am I the a-hole for confronting my stepmom after she secretly tried to adopt my daughter without my consent? Should I try to rebuild the relationship for the sake of my dad, or was I right to cut Kathy out completely? I honestly don't know where to go from here.